Let's do this.
They're tech-savvy, meme-fueled, and fluent in emojis. But can Gen Z handle the pressure of taking life or death calls? Today we're going to dive into the challenges and the opportunities of training a new generation of 911 call takers. And we'll look at how tools like the 911 Inform emergency event management solution are giving them the high-tech, high-def, context-rich support that they need to succeed without falling into the void of TikTok distraction. That's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch, I'm an ENP, and I'm the Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I bring you the latest, most informative, and sometimes a bit controversial takes on emergency communications. Today, we're diving into the generational handoff that's happening in PSAPs across the country, and how we can set Zoomers up for success in the hot seat of emergency dispatch. Let's face it, every generation brings a bit of baggage to the job. Boomers brought resilience. Gen X brought sarcasm and strong coffee. Millennials brought burnout and avocado toast. And now, here come the Zoomers. This new generation grew up swiping screens before they could even tie their shoes. They don't remember dial-up, they've never sent a fax, and they think loading is something that should take less than a second. Well, that impatience, it's actually an asset when they're trained right. But here's the thing, Gen Z learns differently. They're not interested in manuals. They won't sit through a 4-hour PowerPoint marathon. They want interactive, immersive, and relevant training. Training that mirrors the tech that they've used their entire lives. Teaching the TikTok generation to triage. If we're going to train this new cohort, we need to adapt our methods. We've got to use simulation-based learning that mirrors modern gaming environments. Think VR, AR, and high-fidelity call simulators. We need to gamify the curriculum and do that with progress tracking, digital badges, and faster feedback loops. As far as soft skills, we need to teach them explicitly. Gen Z is great at digital communication, but sometimes emoji-laced DMs don't translate into calm, compassionate voice tone. And here's where the tech comes in to bridge the gap between training and real-world chaos. Enter 911 Inform's emergency event management solution. Now, let's be honest. Today's emergencies aren't just calls. They're multimodal, data-rich events. And a Zoomer dispatcher equipped with the right tools? Absolutely a game changer. With the 911 Inform platform, dispatchers receive real-time floor plans, video feeds, IoT sensor alerts, and device locations that give new dispatchers a battlefield map instead of a blindfold. Imagine a fire alarm coming in from a high school. What does the Zoomer dispatcher see? The alarm panel status of what's going off and where. Access to live camera feeds in the affected hallway. The ability to see door lock status and change it if necessary. A map showing where people are gathering and the ability to page over the overhead speakers. And yes, all of that is shareable with first responders in seconds. Interactive dashboards resonate with the Gen Z's app-native brains. Instead of toggling across 12 systems like it's 2002, they get a unified single pane of glass interface containing actionable options, with all of it clearly labeled and touch-friendly. This interface reduces friction, boosts confidence, and most importantly, speeds up response times. Text and chat features empower them to communicate with the public using modalities that they're fluent in. Texting someone stuck in a school lockdown, or using integrated video to calm a panicked witness. Here's a real-life example, the school lockdown. Picture this. A middle school activates a lockdown panic button after hearing suspicious sounds. The Zoomer call taker receives the event, and the 911 Inform single pane of glass dashboard automatically loads. They're able to immediately pull up a live hallway camera feed. They're able to lock exterior doors with a single tap. As they're dispatching units, they also notify the on-site SRO of the situation. With building occupancy data at their fingertips, they guide responders directly to the locations of students and staff. And best of all of this happens without patching together radio channels or waiting for someone to get eyes on the scene. But it's not just tech, it's context, it's confidence. It's a way to turn raw digital natives into razor-sharp dispatchers. That wraps up today's episode of TiPS Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on most social media platforms at Fletch911. And you can visit 911tips.com, where you'll find a complete archive of our previous episodes. Please stay safe, and thanks so much for listening. And if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. This is Fletch. I'll catch you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.